Pro model Series 4. They could have made it a longer name. It's kind of the XD's ugly brother. But man, it's a good little in-between bait in the lineup. And man, speed cranking. They won't react to it slow cranking. I was slow cranking, ticking the bottom, feeling every clamshell, every rock. Won't bite it. I was getting pretty frustrated because when they wouldn't bite the crank, I even threw like a drop shot down there and they won't even bite that. And I was like, well, this is just too weird right now. And then I just started really speed reeling it. I guess not in this video so much. But man, it's a great bait. Casts good. It's got a huge wide wobble for summertime crank baiting. Get yourself a net that's got that rubber coating. Helps getting these things off. And man, it was crazy out there. The number of followers with the first couple fish I caught were trying to grab it out of the other fish's mouth, and man, it was crazy. 3 or 4 of them, and that's something I've never seen up here till this year. And I saw it in the springtime, fishing a Cinco even. They would come following with the other fish I was fighting in. And then I didn't see it since then till last week or whatever. And first 2 fish I caught, I mean like 3 or 4 of them. And those were the bigger fish out of the school so far. And then the bite kind of died a little bit after you caught those big ones out of the school. And then just repositioned the boat and hit the spot from the other side. It's a little clamshell bed. And if you hit it just right with that crankbait, because it's muck all around it pretty much. Not like muck, but a little muck, a little soft, super soft bottom. And if you hit that, even if you're light with it, you're going to get a bunch of shit or stuff on the bill. But if you can line it up and hit it direct and hit that hard spot, pause the bait, let it float up. And that's something you can play with from 2 feet, 5 feet. Let it float up, and a lot of times you're going to get your bite once it's floating back into their face. But if you don't start reeling again till you hit bottom, let it float up. And man, that was the technique, man. Burning it down to the bottom, smacking bottom, floating it up. Within the first couple, they'd get it every time. I should have been throwing a Rapala DT or something because it's so calm. And it's about the only time I've ever had luck with those, because can't cast them in the wind. That's why I like the Strike King lineup. Tried and true. You'll see at the end of the video why I'm a big Strike King fan. Especially during the summer. I want that little more aggressive bait. And again, 12-pound line, 6-3-1 gear ratio. This is that 7-4 chatterbait rod. It's great for a mid-crank, deep, little, not super deep, but, you know, mid to deep cranking. Loads up nice, didn't lose any fish. So, being from Minnesota, we don't get a really good crankbait bite, at least not for me in these northern lakes. And so being down in Mexico, man, we deep crank. That's my boy, my amigo back there, who's unbelievable crankbait fisherman and taught me a ton about crankbait fishing. I was lucky enough to go out with him a few times in Mexico, and man, great experience. If anybody wants to do that trip down to Mexico, man, let me know. I've live down there, been down to most of the lakes down there, and yeah, bigger the group the better, up to 10, and go down there and catch 10 pounders, 10 pound plus, cranking. You're going to have to tape your hands up by day 3 because you'll be all full of blisters. Your wrist will be sore, your back. Power cranking 25 feet deep down there, XD10s. But yeah, my buddy here, Strike King, down there because it's warm water. It's got a good wobble, and he really got me addicted to crankbait fishing. And on this trip, we pulled up to a spot and caught 6 to 8 pounders for 45 minutes straight. It was wild. I did a lot of netting that trip, but that's not a problem for me. And my amigo ended up catching a 10 pounder each day cranking, which was really sweet. And when he's fighting them, he will open spool or thumb spool it instead of the drag, which, I mean, if you catch a beast, it's the way to go. And also, if they're getting ready to jump, and just before they jump, you swing your rod tip down. A lot of times, them fatties won't be able to jump and throw your bait then. But you got to time it just right, just before they breach the surface. So, shout out to my boy right there. Taught me a bunch. And well, my other buddy ain't mad, but it's not a Norman D22 bite yet. So, hold on, feller. Anyway, that's the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.